All right, so welcome back. Here's what we've done so far. We talked to a mortgage specialist and got pre-approved. That was important.
And then we started a search to find you the perfect home.
And then when we found a bunch of them online, we went and took a tour of them to have a really good look and see if there was one that we really liked.
And then there was one that you really liked, so now we're going to put an offer. Exciting.
Let's get started. Hey, come on in. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good, thank you.
Good.
So you excited? You nervous? How you doing?
Well, I don't know. I think I'm more nervous than excited right now, but
more nervous
it'll
than
hit.
excited. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're in good hands. I've done a couple of these. So,
All right.
yeah, I think the last time I looked, I've done over 500. I might be getting
Wow.
close to 6 now. I'm not sure, but
All right. I trust you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll make mistakes, but I'll do my best. So I'm just got to write a contract number on here first. Every contract needs to have similar numbers on each page. So, okay, good. Okay, and then what we're going to do is, so I'm going to go through the contract with you piece by piece, right? And so if there's things that we want to talk about in terms of like possession dates and stuff like that, when we get to each part, then we can get a chance to talk about that. But in the meantime, I'll show you what I'm writing down, so you can stop me anytime if you have any questions about any part of it.
Okay.
Makes
Sounds
sense?
good.
Okay, so a contract is always between two parties. So in this case, the seller is Christina. Okay, and the buyer is, okay, that's you. And the legal description, no, sorry, the address of the property is at 94. Okay, and now normally, so of course it wants a project name. Let's get that down here too. Okay, so with a house, we'd be also writing down the legal description, which would be a plan, block, and lot. Because it's a condo, we're just gonna write down the condo plan number.
Okay.
And then the unit factors and stuff like that, we'll put on a separate schedule.
Okay.
Okay, so the plan number is, and we get this right off of the title as well, so. Okay, and then in this case, you have a legal, like a legally titled parking spot as well. So we're gonna make a note of that. Okay, there's storage, but that's assigned, so we'll just put a check mark there. Space number, we could say 36. Okay, so what they're offering is that you would get the fridge, stove, washer, dryer, and dishwasher, and it looks like window coverings. So we'll make sure we make a note of that. You telling your friends that you're buying a place today?
I did.
Yeah? Are they jealous?
Well, a lot of my friends already have places.
What?
But
You guys
they're
are
hoping
so
to
young.
do. I know, but I don't know. They're way ahead of me that way.
I keep hearing that young people can't afford to buy places, but here you are. You and your
I guess
friends
I
all
just
do.
have successful friends. I think
Well,
they're putting
or you
together
just
some
got good
sort
at
of...
saving your money and
True.
borrowing from your parents and all that. So fridge, stove, washer, dryer, dishwasher, and window coverings. The other thing we're going to ask for, they didn't advertise it, but we're going to ask for garage remotes as well, because it's important that you can get into the parking garage. Garage remotes.
I wouldn't have even thought of that.
Yeah. So what we're going to do now is, and this is the way I always describe doing our initial offer. Our initial offer is going to be everything that you want.
Okay.
Okay, so it might not be what they're asking, like they might be asking for a certain price, but we're going to offer what you want. And that's going to go for the purchase price, for the possession date, asking for things like the garage remote and everything else. So, and even if it's a lot less than what they're asking, you know, we already went through yesterday. Remember on the phone, we went through all the comparable properties and stuff like that. And we kind of thought, you know what, these guys are asking about $30,000 more than what it appears the market would pay for it. So. Right. So we're going to come in $35,000 less than what they're asking, because I don't really care what they're asking. We're going to make sure that you pay a fair price. And a fair price is the market price. So we determined that this is, what did we say it was going to be? $287, I think, right?
Yep.
$287 is about $5,000 less than what the last unit, because there was a unit just like yours, but a floor up, same size, same kind of level of finishings and stuff like that. So again, and then in terms of possession date, when would you like to move? Do you have a date in mind? We talked about
somewhere around the 30th, for sure.
The 30th, and today's the...
I think it's the
The 8th.
8th, yeah.
Okay. That's going to be a little bit tight.
Okay.
But again, if that's what you want, that's what we're going to offer on our initial
Okay.
offer. So I always say our initial offer, even if it's a little shocking to them, going, whoa, they're asking for, you know, all kinds of stuff. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because you know, my first offer is just we check their temperature on different things. We're going to see how they feel about the purchase price, see how they react to that. We'll see how they react to the possession date and how they react to these different things. So like I said, our first offer is just going to be on the stuff that we want and exactly how we want it. And it might be a bit of a punch in the gut to the seller, because the seller might say, well, you're asking for a lot. Like, we told you we wanted 30-day or 60-day possession. We told you we wanted this price and you're coming in at this. And it's like, no big deal. We're offering what we want. You showed us what you want. We're showing you what we want. And now we're going to try to come to some kind of resolution. So you're saying around the 30th, eh?
Yeah. I've got a little bit of wiggle room, but I'd like to be out end of the month, beginning of next.
Yeah, like you're still staying at your parents' place, right? So if it ends up being an extra month or whatever, they seem like pretty nice people when I met them.
They're okay.
Oh, just okay. Okay.
Yeah, they're great.
Great. Okay. Good. So in terms of a deposit amount, and by the way, we're going to ask for this too. The documents will be going to the sellers. We'll be looking after all of that. In terms of a deposit, so the deposit always goes to the seller's brokerage.
Right.
So in this case, it's these guys here. And in terms of a deposit, how much of a check can you write in the next day or two? Can you write 10,000, 20,000?
Yeah, I'd say 15 is probably safe. 15?
Okay. Let's do a deposit of 15,000. Nowadays, a lot of times what they'll want is a draft. So you'll have to go to the bank and ask for a $15,000 draft and that kind of stuff. But, so we'll write draft here. Once you've got it ready, just give me a call. I'll meet you wherever and pick it up and deliver it for you or whatever.
Sounds great.
And we're going to say that they're going to have that within 2 business days of acceptance. So once they accept, if we can get to an agreement tonight, then we got, well, today's Thursday, so you'll have Friday and Monday to get the deposit over to them.
Okay.
And then there's an opportunity here to add an additional deposit, but we're saying 15 is pretty good on this deal here. There's only one person on title, and what you have to realize is that sometimes if there's only one person on title, but the owner's been married and the spouse has stayed at the place even for one night, that person can get in the way of the purchase going through. So we're going to ask them for what's called a dower consent form, which means that that person has said, you know, don't worry about it, go ahead and sell the place, you have my consent.
Right.
And then we're going to give them till this date here to get that done. In this case, if the person's never been married or whatever, they'll just cross it off and initial it or something like that. It's not a big deal, but we need to ask for it just to make sure that they've considered it and they're giving us, you know, so and now in terms of conditions, so what we do is there's a number of conditions we're going to put on the offer, and we're going to put them on there to protect you. So we're going to make it conditional to us being able to review the condominium documents. We talked about that, all the documents that we're going to be asking for. We're going to make it conditional to getting financing that you like. And then that's probably about it. Sometimes people have put a home inspection condition in there, but I think when I'm selling a condo, it's often like people are just using it as a way out. We don't want to do that. We want to show them that we're serious. So what we might just do is put a condition on there saying that we just want to go in there one day and just quickly check the appliances, make sure they all work. Even though in the contract, it does say that everything that is included does work. You know, it's like, I'd rather deal with it beforehand than have to deal with it later. So, so we're going to ask that the documents be delivered before 9 p.m. in about 2 weeks. We're going to say that we want to make sure that they deliver the condominiums by 9 p.m. About 4 days from now. So we got, you know, they got time to get them to us, but then if they don't get them to us in time, then we're going to say we want 3 weeks to review the documents. And by the way, these documents are important, like we talked about. Like they, you know, we're going to know what kind of financial position the condominium corporation is. We're going to be able to read the bylaws. We're going to make sure, for example, I know you love your cat. We want to make sure that we can have a cat in the bylaws and that kind of thing. And we're going to make sure too that, you know, the condominium corporation is in good shape financially so that you don't get a surprise special assessment like we talked about and that kind of stuff too. So these are important things. What we do is we send them off to a specialized condominium document reviewer, and that's all they do. And they're specialists, and it's an independent third party. So if they tell you it's a bad idea to go ahead with this, or they've got some serious warnings, I would pay attention to them, and I'd probably back away. We can find something else.
Okay.
You know, like don't feel like you have to. That's why we have this condition in here.
Okay.
In the meantime, if they say no, it actually looks like they got a good proactive board and everything's in good shape and stuff, then at least you know.
Right.
Right. So there's that. In terms of financing, you had talked to Scott already, so you're going to be putting down. Was it 5 or 10%? I can't remember.
5, I believe.
5. Okay. Well, this says you won't exceed 5, so that's okay. That the financing won't exceed 95%. So.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So that'll be fine, and we'll give ourselves 2 weeks for that for now too, and we'll see see if they're okay with that. Again, every part of this offer is what works for you.
Right.
They might come back and say, I like a lot of things about this offer, but we'd like you to shorten up your condition time or whatever, which personally, I always kind of go, why would you do that? We're going to get it done as quick as we can. I'd rather just, give me a full tank of gas and let me get this done. But, some people, they want to negotiate on everything, so that's fine too. The reality is, if we're 1 day away from getting your financing and we ask for an extra day, they're probably going to give it to us anyways, because if not, they got to put it back on the market. And if they get an offer the next day, they got to wait 10 days. So they're usually better off giving us a day. So that's it for conditions. Any questions so far?
No.
No? Okay. There's a spot here for additional terms. So what we want to do, and here's the condo amount. In terms of additional terms, we do want to, and before I forget, we actually had another condition we were going to write on there too, right? Additional buyer's condition. So we'll do that by 9 p.m. We can get that done in a week, so we'll just...
Right.
That's not a big deal. We'll just go there and turn the stove on and the oven off.
Yeah.
If the elements light up, we're probably in pretty